I'd like to dedicate this song to.
I don't think.
Well, I don't know. His is loud.
Oh yeah, his is loud.
No, I'm loud.
No.
Our mics have the
voice
same
just
level.
sounds like
I'm
it's a
just a little bit louder than her. We're waiting on Hayden. Hayden is always late. We're always waiting on her. She's going to make a grand entrance. She's going to be looking lovely and beautiful. She's getting her beautification done right now. But it's all worth it. I watched, I grew up watching this franchise, and bit of a trivia question now, or will be. I actually spoofed this movie in Scary Movie 3 and 4, and now I'm a part of the franchise that I spoofed. So I think there will be a Scary Movie 5 that I will be a part of now. Yeah, but no, the genre, this franchise itself was fun to be a part of and to watch growing up. The way that Wes Craven tells his stories and intertwines the horror with humor. I think that's what really separates this this franchise of horror film from the others.
For me, I mean, I was obviously too young to ever see it when it came out in theaters, but it was one of those movies that I saw when I was a teenager, and all my friends were obsessed with wanting to watch scary movies, and this was one of the first few I saw, and I remember thinking it was probably the scariest just because out of all the horror movies of like my generation, I think this is the most like real kind of, it's the most plausible, and that's why it's so freaky, like when a phone rings, you're kind of freaked out, and when you see those like big glass windows, you know what I'm talking about. It's scary. So it was definitely creepy. My friends keep calling me and doing the voice and saying, what's your favorite scary movie? And as much as I know it's a joke, I still can't help but be like looking over my shoulder a little bit because it's creepy.
Yeah, I saw the first one when I was like 8 years old. Around, yeah. I was scarred for a little while, and then after I got this part, I went back and watched all 3. Pretty solid. I mean, not really dated, but it says a lot about its time. And
I just want to say that I just found out who the real killers were in this movie. I did. They gave me, they never, I don't know if they didn't trust me with the script, but they never gave me the script with the ending. I really just found out who the killers were.
Did you really?
Like 15, 20, and I haven't seen the movie yet, so I really don't know who the killers are. 15 minutes ago, I found out who the killers were. I mean, of course, they know because they saw it, but damn it, I just found out.
That was you?
That was the black guy. New decade, new rules, baby. The black guy doesn't die first anymore.
For all of you, how was it working with the originals?
It was fun. I mean, it was cool. We all like had a good time. I think we were in Michigan for 3 months, so we all got to kind of bond and hang out. And we spent, I would say, a lot of time together when we weren't like flying home.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told her she's here.
Fashionably late.
Fashionably late. Makeup flawless.
I'm sorry. We already prefaced that you were always late.
We already told them, my love.
We already told them. Don't believe him.
Rory and
Unless it was a good thing.
yeah, no, it was cool. I mean, they were sort of in our position 10, 15 years earlier, so
15 years now.
15. Yeah, so they understood where we were coming from. It was pretty cool.
They're all fossil-like. They're old. We're the new generation of the Scream franchise. I mean, they're just tired and old and bitter. It was great working with this guy. David Arquette and Courtney Cox and I have been friends for 13, 14 years now. David and I have worked together in the past, so it was great to finally work again with him in a franchise that I grew up watching and spoofed and parodied, and one that I enjoyed. And we bonded. Nev would rent out a lake house, and we'd be out there for 3 or 4 days at a time, just having water balloon fights and barbecues and love making and all kinds of things.
I know how their barbecues went.
Well, you should have been there.
It was more like flames. The barbecue.
You need fire. You need fire to cook red meat.
I saw how those went.
Look, David Arquette threw gasoline on the fire pit. I was like,
but then they were doing a photo shoot.
You don't use gasoline when you're cooking ribs.
You did not look too disturbed by it. You guys were like, I am men, I make fire.
That's what we do. And you ate our meat.
I did eat the meat. I did. Well, I was 7 when when it came
Yeah.
out. So I waited till a little bit later in life to experience Scream, and it was something that I was a big fan of. You know, it's got that aspect, that Halloween aspect with the masked person, but at the same time, it's got that very, very realistic aspect of somebody, the fear of somebody breaking into your house, and that's a terrifying thing. But it was a great experience. You know, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking when you come into a family. You know, it was something that was already established, a family that was already established. They had been through so much together. They had been through these films together, and you really have to tread lightly on that and have respect for that and find your way into that that group, that family, and where you fit in. But they were always great with that. You know, they really had an interest in knowing us and including us, and really made that effort, and it made it just a great experience.
God, you're beautiful. I will fight your man for you.
I wish you luck.
Fight your
You might have to quit
man for
acting
you.
for that afterwards when your
fight
face
your
is
man.
over.
I don't fight fair. I'm telling you that right now. He will never see it coming.
Oh no, I know. My dad's a fireman from Brooklyn. He always told me, you know, in a fight there are no rules.
None
you
whatsoever.
just swing. That's it. I was drawn to her because she's not like anything I've ever played before. She's very she's dry, she's sarcastic, she's got that tomboy aspect to her, which I can relate to. And but she's a horror movie buff under it all, which is not what you would expect from her. And it's a really cool element to her personality that's unexpected and kind of clever. I can't say that I'm the same in that way, but it's a fun character to play.
It was scary. I mean, I would get, even though we knew who it was, I would get freaked out. Like, running away would get scary. There was a scene where I had to, like, run up some stairs, and he was really treading behind me, and I really almost just completely ate it and fell down, because I was just getting really nervous. So, yeah, it's scary.
But you were also in stilettos.
I was also in 8-inch heels, because apparently I was too short.
And lifts.
Yeah.
Lifts, heels.
I'm like 5'2" on a good day, and I think I was probably 5'7" or 5'9" in the movie, because I had shoes this big, which
And
were
an
not
apple box.
ideal for running away from a serial killer.
It's scary. There's that's you know, you've got the horror masks nowadays, and a lot of them are very gruesome, and they got blood and scabs and this and that, but there is something just so scary about that mask. It's so simple, and even the painting that it's based off, you know, that it's just eerie. It just gets you in a way that only the simplistic, not exaggerated way that it's done can. Well, we were doing a scene in the bedroom, and I'm it's this whole dun-dun-dun scene, and I think he might be in the closet, and you open the closet, he's not there, and then all of a sudden he was there, but he wasn't supposed to be there, and then it was JB, our prop guy, and he scared me half to death, and he disappeared, and I didn't see him till the next day. I was looking around for him, and I didn't see him till the next day. I was like, dude, I wanted to come back, but I felt so bad. You were so scared. And so he definitely got me. There was, you know, you try to front like you're all tough, and then something jumps out of the closet. And that was the end of the story. So, yeah.
Can you talk a bit more about just working with Wes, especially?
It's a mastermind.
I wouldn't go that far, Hayden. I mean, he's good at what he does. I'm not going to say he's a mastermind. He's good at what he does. All right, you know what's funny is I'm like the biggest and the baddest one on set, the loudest and boisterous one.
Hey, slow down. I wouldn't say that.
Okay, you're a close second, Hayden. And so, not unlike Hayden, Wes did the same thing to me in the exact same scene. And I had no idea that that's what he did to her, but I'm upstairs in the bedroom in the house, and I'm going through the closet, and you know, nobody's supposed to be in there, and I open up the door, and I didn't know the prop guy's name, but he jumped out in the mask and with a knife and scared me shitless to the point where I soiled myself. And
It reeked in the house for days.
but and then that's when I found out, you know, Wes, you know, really has a sense of humor, and you know, he's a really cool dude to work with and for, and I didn't know what to expect from Wes. I mean, you know, given, you know, some of his earlier works, I mean, I grew up watching, you know, The Last House on the Left, and you know, some crazy stuff that Wes Craven did, and then, you know, to get the opportunity to work with him, and it's like, okay, well, how is this guy, how is he really going to be on set? You know, I was expecting, you know, this weirdo, this creep, and all that, and I got a weirdo and a creep, but in a great way. You know, Wes is you know, the uncle and the grandfather that you want reading, you know, bedtime stories to your kids. You know, and it was just fun and interesting to see him that way and to work with him in that capacity, and to be a part of a franchise like this, and for it to be as successful as it is, and as successful as we hope it continues to be.